There is a special undefeated MMA heavyweight, a fighter who currently holds 2 championship belts at the same time, a guy who has finished literally all of his opponents, a force of nature that rivals even John Jones with his dominance in the ring, a powerhouse who hits like a speeding monster truck,
had it, now it's gone because I think he's tired. Look at him, he's real fast.
And wrestles like a wild grizzly bear. But odds are that you have never heard of this underrated champion.
My baby chicken. Baby chicken. No fight. No big heart. One fight. 2 hours, 1 fight.
This man is none other than Anatoly Malykhin, a killer inside the octagon.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment you've all been waiting for. It's time to watch Fight World!
Anatoly Malykhin was born in Kemerovo, Russia. From his childhood, he had a background in freestyle wrestling, so the man was no stranger to combat sports from his early years. Malykhin achieved remarkable success, winning multiple wrestling championships in Russia, and later he even captured the gold medal at the European Grappling Championship of 2016. Eventually, Malykhin reached the limitations of what he could achieve with wrestling in his province. So, he ventured to Moscow, where he encountered MMA coach Vladimir Ossi, a mentor who would shape Malykhin's extraordinary journey ahead in the MMA world, but only after grueling training that lasted months. Malykhin made his MMA debut with a Russian promoter called SK Pro. His opponent Emelianenko was an experienced fighter with a 6-win and 6-loss MMA record. The fight starts, and both fighters take a second to measure each other, when suddenly Anatoly lunges on Ganenko like a lion on the loose, taking his helpless opponent to the ground. It's only Malykhin's first pro fight, and a much more experienced fighter is just lunch for him. After a brutal ground and pound session, the referee had to step in, and the fight was stopped in under 3 minutes of the very first round. And Malykhin is declared the winner by TKO. For his next opponent, Malykhin faced the Spanish fighter Oswaldo Gil, but this fight was even shorter than the last one. Instead of 3 minutes, this time it took Malykhin only 30 seconds to secure a win. As the match starts, Malykhin fakes a punch to grab Oswaldo. He then takes him to the ground and locks his head in a firm guillotine. Turns out, Malykhin's guillotine was so unbelievably powerful that Oswaldo tapped in just a couple seconds. Already won by submission in exactly 35 seconds, Malykhin now stood 2-0. For his next 6 fights, Malykhin would keep winning like it was nothing. None of his opponents were able to get past the first round except one guy, who barely survived the relentless onslaught by the Siberian Beast.
Something good will come from creation.
His seemingly simple but very effective fighting style was working really well. Malykhin would first launch himself at his opponent, then he would start a merciless ground and pound attack, never slowing down for a second. After that, either the referee would stop the fight, or the opponent would already be unconscious. Later on, Malykhin finally made it big when one championship scouted him and signed him on to fight on the big stage. But before that, Malykhin would join the prestigious Tiger Muay Thai gym in Thailand. His time in Thailand would improve his striking even more, and this place would become Malykhin's primary training destination.
Touch gloves. Back up.
For his first fight and one championship, Malykhin would face the Brazilian heavyweight Alexander Machado. After a few minor exchanges on the feet, Malykhin took the fight to the ground, where he controlled Machado for every second until he was tired. Next, Malykhin found a comfortable spot and started landing heavy blows. Unable to fight back, Machado had to tap. Another first-round win for Malykhin, who was declared the winner via submission by punches. Not slowing down in the slightest, Malykhin would challenge the Iranian Gigachad himself, Amir Ali Akbari, and after an exchange of trash talk, the fighters would finally face in the ring. From the start, Ali Akbari is unable to defend against the powerful and precise punches coming his way. He tries to fight back but gets tagged by Malykhin within the first minute. Malykhin then takes control, landing a few knees, but Ali Akbari manages to survive all that until he successfully escapes, and now both fighters are on their feet once again, until finally Malykhin lands a brutal 1-2 combo of mass destruction,
Look at him. He's getting lit up again.
instantly switching Ali Akbari's lights off. Another first-round KO by Malykhin. Meanwhile, heavyweight champion Arjun Bhullar was having some problems with one regarding his contract. Since he was unavailable to defend his belt, one would set up a match of the interim heavyweight championship. Malykhin would face Kirill Grishenko in one Bad Blood event, and the fight would become a fan favorite as Malykhin would display his sheer dominance in the ring.
Good jab. He needs to utilize the jab and go.
So he's on his bike trying to get out of range now.
Choke!
The fight starts with a lot of forward moments from Malykhin and a lot of backward moments by Grishenko. After half the round, Malykhin takes down Grishenko, but Grishenko doesn't even try to escape, nor does he fights for control. Instead, he just buys time and keeps his body close to Malykhin until the round ends. Malykhin comes in the next round with a vengeance and tags Grishenko early on, but he survives. Grishenko eats up some more shots and just keeps stepping backward around the ring. Malykhin is fed up with all the stalling, and he lands this insane double punch on the running Grishenko. Wait a minute, let me get a replay on that. How can a guy even generate power like that? A double right hand. Easily one of the best knockout punches in the sport. And finally, Malykhin would become the interim heavyweight champion. But being a true competitor, Malykhin would call out Arjun Bhullar for a proper heavyweight championship match. Shortly after, Bhullar would sign a new contract, and the match between him and Malykhin would be confirmed. But after a while, Bhullar would pull out of the match stating an injury during training. Wasting no time, Malykhin decides to move down a weight class to challenge the light heavyweight champion, Reinier de Ridder, nicknamed the Dutch Knight, a beloved world champion with an undefeated 16-win streak. A jiu-jitsu black belt, well known for his creative submissions, a master of the ground game. As Malykhin's fight starts with de Ridder, the Dutch Knight comes off as strong, attacking Malykhin. De Ridder is trying his best to secure a takedown to move this fight to the ground, but Malykhin successfully defends de Ridder's multiple attempts, countering with his powerful punches. Malykhin refuses to use his ground and pound this time, and he lets de Ridder stand up. This fight is going on at a crazy fast pace. These two champions are now boxing, and Malykhin has the upper hand. De Ridder tries to fight back, but only with a minute remaining in round one. Malykhin finally lands an insanely powerful right hand, and de Ridder falls like a dead log. Malykhin finishes the job with hammer fists, winning the match and leaving a crime scene in his wake.
To the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud.
Right now, Malykhin has become the double champ, holding the interim heavyweight and the light heavyweight belt at the same time. But his journey of becoming an undisputed double champion won't end until he defeats Arjun Bhullar. The fight is scheduled for June 23, 2023 in Bangkok, Thailand. As the match starts, Malykhin comes off strong, attacking right away, looking for a first-round finish. But Bhullar uses his impressive defensive boxing to survive. He eats some body shots and some non-lethal headshots, but he stays in the game. Looks like Bhullar's tactic is to play the long game and tire out Malykhin. The round ends with Malykhin easily dominating every second. For round two, Bhullar sticks to his plan of tiring Malykhin out, eating powerful strikes, barely hanging on. Seems like Bhullar can take on some heavy punishment, but Malykhin is not slowing down, and round two ends as well. Malykhin witnesses the third round for the first time in his career, and he is not happy about it. Malykhin comes with a vengeance and backs Bhullar into the corner, proving himself to be the juggernaut. Malykhin lands powerful blows, not slowing down even a little bit, even if it's the third round. And by this time, Bhullar realizes that his plan has failed. He planned to tire out Malykhin by eating some shots, but at this moment he realizes getting beat up by a monster like Malykhin is much more tiring. Shortly after, Malykhin unleashes his signature ground and pound beating, and this match finally comes to an end. Malykhin is declared the winner by TKO, becoming the undisputed heavyweight champion, and along with his light heavyweight championship belt, he now holds the title of undisputed 2-division champion. So, as of today, Anatoly Malykhin is an unstoppable force in the world of MMA. His record remains pristine, with an unblemished 13-0 winning streak, never having suffered a single defeat or even a setback. But what's insane are Malykhin's plans for the future. Already a double champion, now sets his sights on an audacious conquest. He wants to snatch another title away from none other than Reinier de Ridder to become the champion of the middleweight division as well. And if Malykhin is successful in this task, he will make MMA history by becoming the first ever 3-division champ of the MMA world. There have been some double champs in MMA, and each one of them is a legend in their own right. But a triple champ who is holding 3-division titles at the same time, that seems like an impossible task, but only because it's a monster like Malykhin who is attempting this insane goal. We might see the first 3-division champ in history pretty soon.
That's all from this video. We will see you in the next one.